Hey, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make an RPG in Python. Now, this won't be a necessarily complex RPG. It'll just be like a thing that just like text appears. You can answer the text, then more text will appear depending on what you answered. That's the basic premise. So let's get into the coding. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is first, now this might not make sense, but we're going to do some stuff first. So we're going to go points equals 0. Alright, then we're going to go gold equals 0. That should work. Alright, okay, that's just on the thing. Alright, gold equals 0. What else? XP. 0, alright? This will make sense in a second. The fact that there's that line there makes me a little nervous. Oh, maybe, oh, that's probably why. Because there's an indent there. Alright. I don't know why. Oh, it's probably because I had a thing before this. Right. Oh, this is just great. Remember, Python's rather finicky. If you guys don't know, Python is a rather finicky program. It's very involved in the syntax, so mistakes like that will affect how your program runs, which is why I noticed it and why I fixed it. Like if you're using R or something, that's less important, so you can be more flippant with your use of syntax. But yeah, with something like Python, you're gonna want to really, really hone down on your stuff. Anyway, so we've got points equals 0, gold equals 0, XP equals 0. So that's setting the values to all of these things to 0, alright? Easy enough to understand, right? So first we're going to teach you how to make text. So we're going to be using the print function. So actually the first thing you're going to do is an input print function. So this is basically, so I'll just go name equals input. Okay, so what I've just written here is name equals input, and then this. So this means that your value of name will equal the answer. Input's the answer you put down here, right? The answer to whatever question I ask in here, right? So if I go, what's your name? Because that's name. If I ask what's your name there, and then I go print, sorry, one moment, name, it should print out. So if I just go and if you want to play your thing, highlight what you want to play and hit Control Enter, by the way. Input, what, so it's asking what's your name. If I go Smurf, and then it goes print name, and it'll say Smurf. So that's where you put your thing in, and that's where it put in. Now, of course, we're not going to have that be the only thing. So commas separate things. So name, comma, it won't put Smurf, comma. What you're going to do, name, comma, and then we're going to put some text in here. So a weird pronoun. We'll just, what a weird connection of syllables. I should have thought this through more before I started filming. What a weird connection of syllables. And so if we play this, oh, 1 second, sorry. If we play this, remember, Control Enter, what's your name? Gah! Gah! What a weird connection of syllables. See? Alright, now, this is just going to be some basic stuff as well. So we're going to do this a couple more times. So we're going to be doing this with name. We're also going to be doing this with location or house, as I like to put it, or home, because like if you have objects that are short named, it's easier to keep track of. And we're also going to be doing motivation. And I'm going to quickly just put those all in. If you want to know like how to write it, although like it'll show up like in the next scene, but I'm not going to bore you with all those details. So I'm just going to input those variables. So we've got this code here. Complete. Yay. Yeah. So basically, I've got home equals input. Same here. Where does your journey start? All that kind of thing. Right? Everything's done in the same way. Now we can print our beginning sentence. So print, and now you're gonna go name or whatever you've whatever you've named the object that is the character's name. Name, comma, is a young warrior, or whatever like your story is a warrior, young warrior. Why did I skip young? Is a young warrior from the land of and then you comma outside of this quotation mark, right? Then you comma, and you're going to choose your whatever you've named, what I've named home here, which is your location, home. Then you're going to comma again, and we're going to open up another bit of text writing. Woof. And we're going to go only here. And because usually when you're writing like what is your end goal, to smooch, they'll put a 2 in there, so you don't have to do that. And so comma motive or whatever you've put there. See? That's your opening line, and we'll show you how that works right now. Woo. Control Enter. What's your name? Bromph. My name's Bromph. Where does your story start? In Sneepleton. What is your end goal? To smooch the villain. What a brilliant plan! Oh, by the way, I have had like little word things here, like, what's your end goal? To smooch the villain. What a brilliant plan! Oh gosh, this is so finicky. What a brilliant plan! Bromph is a young warrior from the land of Sneepleton, only here to smooch the villain. See, that's the kind of sentence you're trying to construct. So from there we can get our if else statements. We're just going to work on if statements now, right? Because it's really easy. If else statements are just slightly more complex, like not that much. It's like if else, if this happens, do this. If this doesn't happen, do this. So really simple, but we're going to start with some if statements. So if, let's say, hang on, wait, no, we got to actually ask them to do something. So exit equals input, input, would you like to leave your room or house? And we're going to put yes/no, because those are the only two things that would work. And so now our if statement is if exit, and you're going to do double equals, which basically means equals, if exit equals no. Oh, I forgot to add the thing at the end. This thing, colon, 2 dots. Right, if exit equals no, print Oh, I put a 9 instead of a bracket. Print. Well, aren't you just a pain? Aren't you just a pain? Oh, I put... Whoopsie daisies. Well, aren't you just a pain? Because I suck at actually typing. Aren't you just a pain? Print. You know what? You know what? I'm going to make things capitals because we like grammar. Print. Name. Leaves the house anyway. See, and there we go. We've got our first interaction based on this. So that's how you do an if statement. I'm gonna go make an if statement for yes over here, and you'll see where the points comes in. And I will and I'll start recording again when we get to points because I'll show you how to deal with those. Okay. So we've got our yes statement. Now we're going to talk about point values. Now, I wanted to do this cool thing where it's like, how close are you to the narrator? Like, how much does the narrator like you and want you to succeed? And so I've come up with this point system where it's like, if your points are over this number, yes, you can do this thing that you want to. If your points aren't, you can't, because the narrator is actually interacting with you. Now, the way you work with points, because it's equal to 0 right now, we'll deal with stuff. So points equal points plus 1. That's how you add a point. 1 second. Plus 1. Right? And then there we go. Points equals points plus 1. So you get a point if you go down the yes route. So yeah, that's the line of code of how you add a point. Now, of course, you can -1, add as many, or do whatever you want, but that's just how you add and subtract points generally, right? And then, beyond this point, you just put in your next line of text, and then your next, and your next. So, I'm just going to put in a couple lines of text just to move this story along, and we'll get to our next piece of proper coding. Okay, so if you can see, I've gone through and done a little bit more of the coding. Doesn't take too long if you know what you're doing. But here you see I've nested one if statement into another if statement. This is something you can do. I don't recommend it. If you've got a lot of points that you need variables on, it's better to do a while true loop or something similar instead of like if, because it'll get messy. I prefer to do it this way, but that's just because my brain doesn't really comprehend most things, and so doing it like this helps me visualize all of the statements. And I'm not bothered to do anything else, so I'll live with my choices and die with them as well. But so you can see, sorry, this is real finicky. Here I've got like because these XP, golds, and all of the stuff that I put up the top, variables that can be used in the same way that name and exit and all those kinds of things can, right? So so you can always tell your player how much they have, right? So that's pretty easy. Basically everything is just an amalgamation of all of the base concepts I've taught you now. Like, there isn't a lot more to it. You might be able to do some fancy schmancy looping and all that kind of thing, but really it's unnecessary. This is the base you need to create any code. So unless you want a more in-depth tutorial, this is all that you really need to create a really simplistic RPG. If you want to learn about graphics and like loading things in and all that kind of good stuff, then I might do a part 2 on this. But for now, this is what we have. Now, I'm going to play this and show you how it runs. So here's the executable that I've got up here, exe, all that kind of good stuff. This is the window I've got up right now, and this is the coding put together. You just press run, play, or whatever on your running software. Allows you to see the finished product, but this is definitely unfinished, but this is the general gist of what you'll get with the coding I've taught you. What's your name? Barf Boy. Barf Boy! What a weird connection of syllables. Where does your journey start? In Fortitus. Footed. That's fine. Footed. I hear that's lovely this time of year. What is your end goal? Begin your answer with 2. I guess 4 works here as well, but 2. Die peacefully. What a brilliant plan! Buff Boy is a young warrior from the land of Footed, only here to die peacefully. There should be a U there, but that's my spelling mistakes. Would you like to leave your house? Yes, no. I spent the most work on the no answers, so we'll deal with that. No. Oh, whoop. I don't know what just happened. I'm gonna reload this. Whoopsie daisies. Let's restart. It stopped. We kill it. Let's start it up again. Okay, so it's caps lock sensitive. I forgot about that. Whoopsie doops. So that means that you're probably gonna need to either do an if and statement. Oop. I didn't enter name because I accidentally pressed enter. That's fine. Where does your journey start? In Siddiqov. I hear that that's lovely this time of year. What is your end goal? To sleep. Is a young warrior from the land of Siddiqov, only here to sleep. Would you like to leave your house? No. Well, aren't you just a pain? You know what? Leaves the house anyway. Finds that the sky's gone dark and the air is cold. What's your catchphrase? Oh, nuggets. Oop. Or nuggets. My pants are down. In the eerie atmosphere, it mutters to themselves. Oh, nuggets, my pants are down, they say. There is a dark evil about. Here's a sound in the distance. Do you investigate? No. You uncooperative bastard! This is an RPG adventure! Adventure is the aim of the game! First you want to stay at home, now you won't investigate the scary noise? Fine, I'll do it myself. Feels possessed. It is as if something has taken over their body. They inspect the noise. They see nothing suspicious. Gold equals 0 and XP equals 0. That was mildly uneventful. Press any key to continue. And that's one of the, I think there are 4 or 5 options that you can go down in this so far, just with what I've written here, which is a surprisingly little amount of code here. But yeah, that's how you make an RPG. I'm glad that I could be of assistance to anyone learning Python. These are some really simple statements that anyone can do, and it's really nice that Python is so straightforward. It's really good for beginners. But yeah, if you want me to make a second one of these or something similar, please tell me. And if you thought this was shit, also tell me. Anyway, bye!